First of all, thank you so much for showing so much support. Today's video is going to be a little different compared to my previous videos because in this video, we'll talk about a macro trend which I believe has just started. So before looking at what can happen in the future, let's see what has happened to gold as a currency in the past. So in the earlier days, we followed a gold standard monetary system, which links the currency's value directly to the value of the gold that the central bank holds. So for example, if the Federal Reserve held 10 ounces of gold, they could and the price of gold was $20 per ounce, the Fed could only print $200. So what the system did was it kept the overspending of the government and the inflation in check. Now, we follow a fiat money system in which the dollar's value is not linked to any specific asset. In March 1933, when the US economy was going through its toughest times, the Great Depression, there was a new economic theory that came in. That was the Keynesian economic theory, which said one of the best ways to fight off an economic downturn is to inflate the money supply. So in the gold standard, the only way to inflate the money supply was to increase the holdings of the gold. So the Federal Reserve took a really surprising step. They issued a statement in which the people were asked to deliver all the gold coins, all the gold bullion, and the gold certificates that they had to the Fed at a fixed price of $20.67 per ounce. And the next step that the Federal Reserve took was really surprising. The following year, they increased the price of gold by 75% to $35 per ounce. This effectively decreased the purchasing power of Americans by 75%. This was a really shocking step. So now let's see what the Nixon shock was. By the late 1960s, the United States government did not have enough gold to to cover the volume of dollars that was there in the worldwide circulation. So what happened then was the traders, they felt that the US will have to devalue their currency. So what did they do was they sold the dollar and took the delivery of gold from the United States. So this forced the President Nixon to end the conversion of US dollars into gold. So this effectively ended the gold standard permanently. So after President Nixon ended the gold standard, in the next decade, the prices of gold went up 20 times, and that was followed by a 20-year bear market. And after that, from 2000 to 2011, the gold prices went up 7 times. So we'll learn more about the 20-year bear market and the following decade bull market in the later slides. Now, let's see how has the supply of gold been in the last decade. So in this chart, we can see the gold supply is increasing at just 1% CAGR in the last decade. Also, over the time passing by, gold mining is getting tougher and it is getting more expensive to mine the same amount of gold. Whereas when we compare it to the US dollar, for which the supply has increased multifold, it seems really reasonable. Now let's see what are the factors that affect the gold prices. First, the lack of faith in the purchasing power. Also, the interest rates play a major role in the prices of gold. Then, the confidence on the reserve currency. By the reserve currency, I mean the US dollar. And the last thing that affects the prices of gold is the geopolitical situation. We won't be discussing much about the geopolitical situation because we all, I believe, are updated, and this situation keeps on evolving. Let's see how the purchasing power of the money decreases. So when the supply of the money increases, the purchasing power of the existing money decreases. So before learning how the supply of money increases, we need to learn what the US Treasury bonds are. When the US government has a deficit in the revenue and the expenditure, they to finance the deficit they issue bonds, which is then bought by various participants in the market. Now let's see what quantitative easing is. So when a central bank buys long-term securities, these long-term securities might be mortgage-backed securities or the treasury bonds by the US government. So where does the Federal Reserve get money to buy these bonds? So they just create it out of thin air. This means that they just print the money. So what happens when they buy these bonds? So when they buy these bonds, it gives fresh liquidity to the banks so that they can lend to the people. It also keeps the interest rates in check. Now, let us see how the Fed has used this quantitative easing mechanism. So, after the 2002-2006 credit boom, the banks were left with a lot of toxic assets. To get the banks rid of such toxic assets, the Fed decided that they would buy $700 billion of such bonds from the banks to give them fresh liquidity so that they can lend to the people. A really important thing to note is that uh, after every quantitative easing program ended, the financial system started to tumble. So the Fed had to come up with another quantitative easing program after each of the quantitative easing program ended. So I'd like to pause here for a moment, and I would like you to go through these two slides. So now let us come to March 2020. So on March 23rd, the Fed announced that they would expand the quantitative easing purchases to an unlimited amount. That means QE infinity. Now let us see how these quantitative easing programs has affected the Fed balance sheet. So the blue line here is the Fed balance sheet, and the golden line is the price of the gold. So as you can see, the Fed balance sheet has expanded by 900% since the global financial crisis. Earlier the Fed was a small part in the bond purchasing market, but now they are the market, which is not a healthy sign. Whenever US issues treasury bonds, it means that the debt levels is going up. So what is public debt to GDP ratio? Public debt to GDP ratio suggests what is the debt levels of the government to compared to its GDP. Also in this chart, we can see that the public debt to GDP ratio is back to its World War II levels. You must be thinking that US has pulled it off once and the debt will be in control in the future. But why I believe that this time it is different is because that time US was coming out of a world war and the defense expenditure was comparatively less. Also now the Federal Reserve has realized that they can keep the interest rates low for a long period of time without affecting the inflation. To come out of the recession of 2001, the Fed started to lower its rates, and in 2002, the rates were at just 1%. That fueled the global financial crisis. Also, when they started increasing rates and the rates were back to 5%, they had to reduce it to zero at the first sign of worry. And the rates were at zero for the subsequent 8 years. And when they again started to increase rates and the rates reached 2%, the S&P 500 fell by 20% in just 2 months. Earlier, when to 2% was a really nominal interest rate, and which is now really sky high interest rate. These long 0% interest rates create zombie companies. So, what are zombie companies? Zombie companies are those companies which require additional financing every year to finance their operations. Also, what does this low interest rates do is a large pool of money chases a few assets, which results in asset inflation. Many big investors criticize gold for its 0% yield, but you will be surprised to know that $11 trillion worth of bonds trade at negative interest rates, and central banks are the biggest buyers. Also, to give you a perspective, the total value of gold that has been ever mined is just $10 trillion. In this slide, I have given the budget deficit data for the US of the last 2 decades. So as you can see, the last time the US government had a surplus was in 2001. And also an interesting thing to note is that this was the time when the gold market in bull started again. And due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the budget deficit is expected to be $3.7 trillion. And for the FY22, the budget deficit is expected to be $2.1 trillion. To give you a perspective, $3.7 trillion is not there on the scale also of this chart. So imagine the amount of money that has to be printed in the coming years. Also, there are a few ways to reduce the deficit, which is by increasing the taxes and by reducing the expenditure, which no president will agree. So there's a new theory in the market which is making a buzz, which is the modern monetary theory. So it says that monetarily sovereign countries like US, UK, Japan, and Canada are not operationally constrained by revenues when it comes to federal government spending. In other words, such governments do not need taxes or borrowings for spending since they can print as much money as they need. So to give you an example, for example, the budget deficit is of $3 trillion, and US issues treasury bonds worth that, and they don't get enough subscribers. So the whole $3 trillion will be subscribed by the Federal Reserve. I don't believe in this theory because recently the sovereign rating of Canada was downgraded. If you keep printing money aggressively, it is a matter of time when other countries' sovereign ratings also get downgraded. In this slide, I want to show you a really interesting inverse relationship that is there between the dollar index and the gold prices. So what is the dollar index? The dollar index shows the strength of US dollar compared to other currencies, which are generally its trading partners. So the blue line here are the gold prices, and the golden line here is the dollar index. So whenever the dollar index falls, it shows that there's a lack of faith in the reserve currency. So that's why there's a uptrend in the gold prices. In the end, I'd like to clear a really important misconception that is there in the mind of people, which is what if central banks start to sell their gold positions? So in this slide, we can see there's a significant increase in the gold holdings of the central bank since the last 2 decades. Also, we need to keep in mind that gold is the only currency that is there during geopolitical tensions. Thank you for watching the video. Videos like these take a lot of time and effort to make, so I would kindly request you to share the video and subscribe to my channel.